Today, we are going to be seeing what levels in the original Donkey Kong Country on the SNES are possible to beat without collecting any bananas. At first, my idea was to try and beat the game without collecting bananas, but it definitely isn't possible. So throughout this video, I'm going to be going over every individual level and telling you the tricks to beat it without collecting bananas, or the reason why some of them aren't possible to beat without collecting bananas. So yeah, this video is actually going to be split off into two parts. This video, I'm going to be going over the first 3 worlds, and then the next one, the last 3 worlds. So yeah, this game is definitely one of the best SNES games ever, and I love it. And after seeing all the videos of people beating Mario games without collecting coins, I really wanted to give one of those a go, but there was no point, considering all the games have already been done pretty much, so there was no real point. But I'm pretty sure that no one else has done this, or at least on YouTube. I couldn't find any. But yeah, let's get to it. So starting off the game, we go into the first world, Congo Jungle, and then we start the first level, Jungle Hijinks. Now straight away, you can already tell that this is going to be harder than the Mario no coin challenges, because in Mario games, the coins are generally above your head, and you could just walk under them. However, in Donkey Kong, the bananas are usually spread out across the floor, meaning you're going to have to jump over them, which is just the tiniest bit harder, and will lead to a lot of levels not being possible in the future. However, Jungle Hijinks starts off really easy, no big problems in the way. There are a few parts in the levels where you have to jump off enemies to get across, or another good way to get good momentum is by rolling and then jumping, which helps you get across bananas on the floor, and then roll jumping across pits is also a really good trick. But yes, Jungle Hijinks is possible without collecting any bananas. Then we move on to Ropey Rampage. Now this level already starts off with an issue. Once you climb up the first rope, there's a tree that you have to land on, but there's bananas on the very edge of it. I tried jumping over it a couple of times, but that never actually worked. So my next idea was to jump on the very edge of it, and you could barely stand on it, but I knew it was possible. So after a few minutes of trying that, I managed to get this jump, and then jump over the rest of the bananas without touching any of them. Thank goodness for that. However, this is where we meet our first problem that cannot be solved. There's a rope here that leads you right into bananas, and you have to jump onto the tree on the right. However, jumping to that tree will make you collect bananas no matter how hard you try. You cannot jump over or beneath them, and it's just not possible. There is a secret barrel on the right of the stage, as you can see through this map of the stage, and I tried many times to get to it, but it turns out the barrel is just going to shoot you into more bananas. So no, this level is not possible without collecting bananas. Then we move on to Reptile Rumble. Now this level starts off pretty simple, no big obstacles in the way. All you need to do is a few careful jumps. And then to prevent yourself from jumping into the bananas using the bouncy tires, you can just jump over most of the hills with Diddy Kong. Bouncing over enemies will also help you get over a few bananas. But then right after you get the O, there's this. Yeah, I don't think there's any possible way of getting through this. So yeah, that does mean that Ropey Rampage cannot be beaten without collecting any bananas. Yay, coral Kappas. I love underwater levels so much. Just kidding, no one likes underwater levels. There are parts of the level that make it look like there is no way of avoiding the bananas, but due to the weird hitboxes of the stage, you could just swim right over them, which doesn't really look like it would work, but it does. But then we come up to this part of the stage where there's an arrow pointing down made of bananas. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get through there without hitting a banana. I stuck to the wall as close as I could, but this level doesn't seem to be possible, unfortunately. Then we move on to Barrel Cannon Canyon. Now this level starts off with a barrel that shoots you right into bananas, and yeah, it looks like it's over, but no, if you go to the left at the beginning of the stage, there's a barrel that shoots you right over them, but then you fall into more bananas. But that can easily be avoided by doing a Diddy Kong roll jump in the air. But then there's another barrel that looks like it's going to shoot you up into more bananas, but going into it, it doesn't. Okay, sweet. Then there's a section here where you just have to roll into the barrel. And then here, it looks like you have to shoot up into the bananas to get to the ledge, but if you shoot yourself a little bit earlier, you can just go right over them, making you avoid them. However, then this happens. We collect the O, we shoot ourselves into this, and then that happens. Yeah, I don't think there's any way of avoiding this whatsoever. Now, Donkey Kong is full of secrets, and I might have missed one in this level that can get us past it, so if there is, let me know. If not, this level's not possible. So I don't count the boss levels because there's no real bananas in it. Moving on to World 2, Monkey Mines, and into Winkies Walkway. However, pretty much as soon as we start this level, we can already tell that this will not be possible. You can't get over these bananas at all, it's just not possible. Now time for one of the coolest levels ever, Minecart Carnage. Let's see, how far can we get in this level without hitting a banana? Oh. However, if you restart the level, there's actually a secret. You could avoid that barrel, fall into the pit, and it shoots you right to the end of the level, where there's absolutely no bananas whatsoever. So this level is possible. Next up is Bouncy Bonanza. And again, like normal, this level starts off pretty simple, no major things blocking our path. There is this one trail of bananas, but that can easily be avoided by using the tire and bouncing off of that, which is helpful. And then there's a couple of times where it looks like you won't be able to avoid the bananas, but you can just by rolling and stuff like that. And then once you hit the checkpoint, you can either go up or down. I chose to go down at first, but that turns out it's just a total death trap. Bananas everywhere, you can't avoid that. So the way to do it is by bringing the tire onto the moving platform, and then using that to bounce up to the higher part of the stage without hitting the bananas. And then we reach this part of the level. Yeah, there's just bananas everywhere here. You cannot get over that, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't do it. You can even get Winky the frog, but that didn't even help either. So this level's not possible, I don't think. Then we move on to a really cool level, Stop and Go Station. I love this level. So the gimmick of this level is you have to hit the barrels to make the enemies stop hurting you. On stop, they will not move, but after a certain amount of time, they'll go back to go and they'll start running around and can hurt you again. But this means you have to be fast, and avoiding bananas can make you go quite slow sometimes, so this level was a little bit tricky. There is this section with a claptrap over bananas, but it looks like it's not possible to avoid, but it actually is. Then you got this part where you have to kind of roll onto another platform without jumping into the bananas. That wasn't too hard. Then we basically reach the end of the level where it's basically just run for your life. Hit the barrels, otherwise you're gonna get killed, but thank goodness there are no bananas here, otherwise that would make it even more harder. However, it turns out that from the beginning of the level you could just go left and avoid the whole level and go right to that part where there's no bananas. So yeah, I could have saved some time on that, but it's fine. At least it's possible. Now time for Milestone Mayhem. I really like these levels, not sure why, they just look really cool I guess. And the first half of the level is really easy, no big obstacles. After the checkpoint, there's this part with bananas where you jump down and then a tire appears out of nowhere, but that can easily be avoided by just jumping over them. But then we get to this part. There's two pits filled with bananas, and we obviously can't touch the bananas, so my first idea was to just jump over the beaver thing, I don't know. And that didn't work. Then I tried to damage boost through it. However, once you get hit, they can still actually collect bananas, so that didn't work. I tried this quite a few times and it just wouldn't work. I didn't know what to do. So my next idea was to get that tire so we can take an alternate route to get Winky the frog. However, we had to actually get the tire without hitting bananas. The more I tried it, the more it seemed possible. After a little while of trying, we actually managed to get it without hitting bananas. So now that we got this tire, we can access this area that we can't get without it, which leads us to, oh no. At first, this jump did not seem possible at all. However, I tried quite a few times, and after doing it just right, you can actually get to the frog without hitting bananas. But then the next problem is actually getting the frog out of it without collecting bananas. Because you're so close to them, every time you go to jump, you actually end up collecting them. And you also want to get momentum so you can move forward, but that's hard because there's bananas both in front and right behind you. But then I actually managed to get it by just moving backwards the tiniest bit, which gave me room to get some forward momentum and go over all the bananas. Now that we got Winky, we can actually clear that area that we couldn't get through before because he can jump over the big rolly beaver things. So due to this, we actually managed to get through this level without collecting bananas. Now on to the last world of this video, Vine Valley, starting off with Vulture Culture. Right at the beginning, it looks like we have to shoot ourselves onto a vulture, which will make us hit bananas, but no, you could just shoot it without hitting bananas. Then at this section, it looks like we are going to have to go into the barrel, which is going to shoot you right into those bananas, but you can just use this barrel to get into a secret to avoid that. In the secret room, all you have to do is get hit to escape it, and then it'll take us past that section with the barrel and the bananas. And then there's this. This section, I honestly don't know how you're meant to get past. I tried this part for about 5 minutes. I tried to get underneath the right banana, which didn't work. I tried to roll into the barrel and I can get really close, but it would never work, and I would always hit bananas or fall into the pit. However, there's actually something really weird in this level. If you started off with Donkey Kong and just go through the beginning of the level as fast as you can, I obviously had to avoid the bananas as well, there is actually a secret barrel that will spawn here, which takes you right to the end of the level, which makes it possible. Thank goodness for that secret barrel, because if that wasn't there, this level wouldn't be possible. But because it is, we can actually do this whole level without hitting bananas, surprisingly. That doesn't count. It's possible. Next up is Treetop Town. Starting off this level, I already noticed one of the secrets, however that just leads us to one of the Kong rooms, which isn't really useful for me at all, but it did shoot us past some bananas, so I guess that helped. Now this level you just have to be quite careful, otherwise the barrels will shoot you into bananas. Right after the checkpoint, we are led to this. How on earth are we meant to avoid that? My first idea was to jump onto the crocodile to bounce right into the upper cannon, but that would never work. I tried it with Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. Many times I'd always get hit by it and end up collecting bananas. However, the way you do it, you just have to wait for him to bounce once, and then you could jump on him there and shoot yourself down without hitting the bananas. Then there was this section where you kind of just get shot right into bananas, especially if you go in the automatic shooting barrel. So the idea was to shoot yourself from the third cannon, not the fourth one, and doing this will help you avoid the bananas, making the rest of the level possible. Next up is Fray Frenzy. Now this level already looks stressful right at the beginning. You've got a rope with bananas right in your way. Going up won't help at all, and going down you have to be very careful, otherwise you'll fall off the rope. However, it is possible, but just quite hard. Right after that, we've got this section with one of the zingers and a whole bunch of bananas, and this didn't look possible at first. I tried to go beneath the bananas, but then we had to jump to the next rope, which would make us collect one. So the way you do this is actually by going underneath the zinger, and then you can jump to the next rope. Then after this section with the zingers is a checkpoint, which can actually be hit without touching bananas. And when you die, you can actually get out of the checkpoint without hitting bananas, so you can definitely use this. And then we get to the very end of the level where this happens. You can't go over those bananas, and there's a vulture in the way, so there's no way of getting through that without getting hit. And getting hit will make them collect bananas, so that's bad. I just couldn't seem to get through this part no matter how hard I tried. So this level doesn't seem to be possible. Then we move on to Temple Tempest. And unfortunately, right at the beginning of the level, we've got a big trail of bananas leading into a rope, which can't be jumped over or like crawled under or rolled under. I tried quite a few times, but I could just never get through this without hitting at least one banana. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this level isn't possible either. Next up is Orangutan Gang. Right at the beginning, we've got this. At first it seemed quite impossible. I didn't think I would get through that at all. Going to the left doesn't help either because it just provides you with a barrel which isn't going to do anything. So I had an idea. Could we jump in between the bananas? Yes, we could. After many attempts, I finally managed to get one of the crocodiles to spawn in and I could bounce off him. However, I collected 2 bananas in the process. But then I finally managed to get it after about, I'd say, 5 to 10 minutes of trying, and thank goodness for that. But then we've got more. Yay. And then, the rest of the level didn't actually seem too bad. You just had to make sure you avoided the bananas while the orangutans throw barrels at you, but other than that, the level is definitely possible. Now this is the last level of this video, Clam City. Yay, I can't wait to end off on a water level. Now again, due to the weird hitboxes of the stage, you can swim over most bananas, and then right at the checkpoint, there's another arrow of bananas. So after hitting the checkpoint, I actually restarted the level because I accidentally hit a banana and wanted to see if it was possible. I managed to get myself out of that area and back in without hitting the banana, so that part's possible. Then throughout the rest of the level, there's no big obstacles in our way, so this level is definitely possible. So yeah guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It was really fun to do. So yeah, it turns out from the 16 levels we played, 8 of them are possible. Meaning that half of the levels we played are possible to beat without collecting bananas. if you guys can find a way to beat the other half of the levels without collecting the bananas, please let me know in the comments below, because I'd like to know. But yeah, this was a really fun video to make. Make sure you subscribe, have notifications on and everything, so you can see part 2 to see what other levels are possible to beat without collecting bananas. I'd say that level will be up within about a week and a half, maybe 2. But yeah guys, thanks everyone for watching, hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in my next videos. Bye.